If you want to leave your toxic corporate job, but you don't really like the alternative options that you have at hand right now, then this video is for you. But before we go any further, let me share one important message. The problem is not you, it's the people around you. And that's the most difficult part because mostly we blame it on us. We think that something's wrong with us, and that's the biggest problem of all. So let me say just this: you are okay. And in this video, I'll show you why your job is toxic in the first place, why there is no future in the same company for you, and what you can do about it, even if you don't like the options that you see right now. Toxic jobs are always a systems problem. And I always say there are only three alternatives in any situation that you don't like: change it, love it, or leave it. There's really not more. It sounds like a platitude, but if you think about it, and I've been there myself so often, there is nothing more. So, first of all, change it. You stay in the same system and you try to optimize the system, try to change behavior of people, change the situation, and be positive about it. But that's just not possible in a toxic environment. You can't change a system. Systems work always top down. Then there is another alternative: love it. While that works just fine in many other situations, for a toxic work environment, that's not a solution because the job drains you. When you arrive back at home, you have no energy left. It totally sucks the life out of you until you either burn out or you need to go on sick leave eternally. So, loving a toxic work environment is completely out of the equation. And then there is the only third alternative: leave it. So in this video, it's all about how you can leave it, how to make it possible. Because toxic work environments, they're toxic from the very top. So there are toxic bosses who incentivize toxic behavior of their direct reports, and they incentivize toxic behavior of their direct reports. And so it ripples down through the hierarchy, and the lowest leadership level, they are incentivizing toxic behavior of everyone else around them. And there is a saying, interestingly, I learned that in my very first job in the second week already. And the saying goes, the fish rots from the head. And it's very true. So if you accept that you can't change the system, you can't change the people around you, then there are other solutions that we're diving in right now. By the way, all of what I'm teaching here on YouTube, you'll find also in my Mental Mastery Academy. It's my inner circle of aspiring solopreneurs and professionals who are going solo, building something of their own, and you'll find the link down in the description. One last disclaimer before we dive into the solution. This video is not about giving you easy solutions that in an instant will make everything better for you. Unfortunately, that's just not how it works. This video is all about giving you hope, giving you options, alternatives, giving you different perspectives to start changing something. So I know it sucks right now, and it hurts me to even make this video about this topic, but I do it because I really want to give you some hope. So it's not about having the perfect option, it's about choosing the least bad option right now that takes you to better options afterwards. Now let's look at how you can leave a corporate job for good. First of all, it all starts with awareness. And it's about the simple fact to stop accepting the current situation you are in as normal. That's not normal. There are a lot of great companies out there. I've worked for toxic companies, I've worked for great companies. It just sometimes it seems hard to find those companies. But the very most important part is no, it's not normal. Because if you believe it's normal, you stop considering even other options because you think like, oh yeah, next job is going to be just like that. No, it isn't. Then the next part of the solution, it's about setting boundaries. Stopping to accept certain behavior. I've had one coworker, for instance, that was back in the day, he was some 30 years older, and most of my other coworkers, they were really afraid of him. He was kind of a choleric person, and he would yell at me for no reason. And something that you can do is completely calmly set a boundary and tell him, you don't talk to me like that. No fuss, no yelling back, but firmly say, this is my boundary and I don't accept your behavior. Interestingly, that's one of the biggest fear that we have, setting those boundaries, because we are uncertain about the consequences that might have. And don't let me sugarcoat it, that might have consequences. You might get fired, you might get bullied even more. But while that might happen, also the other alternative is true. You might get a little bit more respect because that's something this person has never gotten from you. Boundaries. And in that situation that I just shared with you, I got respected, and the situation with this choleric person improved drastically. We even had like easy chit chat. He shared a skiing magazine with me and we bonded a little bit. So he didn't become my friend, but we had a better professional relationship because I said, here in my office, you don't talk to me like that. And the next time you do that, I'll throw you out of my office. The third solution is about creating a safety net, however that might look for you. The most important part for most people watching this video will be about a financial safety net. So having some savings. If you don't have savings, start saving up some money, looking at where can you downsize just a little bit right now, knowingly it's not forever. It's just for a certain time to create a buffer to have more financial runway that allows you to be calmer about your financial situation. So if right now you have no savings at all and you can't survive like 1 month without a salary, that's really a bad situation to be in. And again, I'm not judging here. We all have our liabilities, our loans, our responsibilities for our family. Still, sometimes there are some expenses that we really don't need. Then the next steps is brainstorm your options. So, which other jobs can you take? Which people do you know who could create options for you? Maybe you could go back to your former company. Maybe you could change your career. Maybe you could even change cities and start somewhere else completely fresh. And the most important part in the brainstorming phase, it's not about rating those options. It's not about judging. It's not if it's a great option to have or not. It's just to collect all the options that you have because you do have options. It's never that in life we are completely without any alternative. We might not like our alternative, but that's a completely different story. So at this point, it's really just about realizing there are options out there that you then, in the next step, get to choose. And the next step is exactly about rating your options. Create your own rating system. Might be 2 categories, 3 categories, or 4 categories that you rate each option against. So you have maybe 5 different options and 5 different categories. So option 1 being going back to your last employer, option 2 being starting fresh in a different city, option 3 being going into a different industry, and so on. Now, how could the categories look like? The categories could be, for instance, is it possible for you right now to take a pay cut just for a certain time? It's not about accepting a pay cut from now on forever, just a step back for a certain time. So you have time and energy to plan your next step that will get you to a pay raise again. Maybe even a lot more than your current job gets you. Then a second category could be, will this alternative give you back energy and thus put you in a better position than you are right now? A third category could be, how much does this option hurt your career growth? Simple example. If you're right now in a corporate job, you're a senior leader, you maybe even have a team, and then an alternative could be working as a waiter at McDonald's. So, yes, that probably is going to hurt your career. Maybe not. It's not about what I think, it's about what you think is a viable option here. Because then, if you have your categories that you're rating your alternatives against, you can rate each alternative on a scale from 1 to 10. So, how much do I believe does this alternative hurt my career? 10, very much. All right. And then you get a sum in this whole rating system that better helps you evaluate your options. And now you can choose deliberately which is the least bad option right now. And maybe that even leads you to a completely different option that you haven't considered so far. Then the next solution is start exploring alternatives. But don't tell any of your colleagues, because someone probably might talk behind your back about you. So you can start writing applications, you can start interviewing, you can start talking to people outside your current company, friends, ex-coworkers, family, because you never know where alternatives, where opportunity shows up. Maybe someone you met at university haven't talked to for quite some while, and you're just catching up with them, talking about your situation, talking about what you've been doing so far, what you want to do in the future. And maybe just that person has a connection, knows someone, knows a hiring manager, knows a company owner, and connects you with them. And that might just be your next job. So we really don't know it, but the more you do, the more you talk to people in your current network, the more you create opportunities. And the last solution is creating an exit strategy. And it's really just about you seeing what it needs to finally leave your job. And that's highly individual. Your exit strategy might look like this: update my CV, apply to 20 jobs per week, network with old co-workers, network on LinkedIn, maybe even start posting on LinkedIn. So really write down what you can do, which steps you can take, and then follow through with them. And now you see that you have a clear path. There are clear action items that you can follow through with. And it's just about making the right opportunity happen. And if you want to know more about any of those tools that I shared right now, about how to set boundaries, about the rating metrics that we've been talking about how to create an exit strategy, feel free to drop a comment, and my next video might just be the answer you're looking for. You find even more tools like these in my Mental Mastery Academy. It's my inner circle of senior leaders going solo and starting something of their own without overthinking, procrastination, and perfectionism. The link is down in the description. And if you're wondering if now is such a good time for a career change because of the economic situation and the chaos in the world, then there are 6 questions that will help you figure out if it's a good time for a career change right now. And my next video shares those 6 questions. So I'll link it here in the left corner. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.